Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. And now, celebrating 15 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus-webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus-webb. Glad you all could join us once again, whether you're tuning in on the radio dial here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM or WYADonline.com. We're glad you all could join us. Also, those tuning in through our online affiliates around the world, including our iHeartRadio family. We're glad you all could join us as well. I'm excited to welcome actress and TV personality Krystin Goodwin to our program today. I want to talk to Krystin not only about what it's been like for her to do what she loves when it comes to acting, but, of course, to see the response as well. She has some great things she's been working on this year, great things she's looking forward to for 2019. We'll talk to her a bit about that, as well as, of course, let you guys know how you can stay connected with her. Krystin, hello to you, and welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on.
The pleasure is definitely all mine. You know, I mentioned to you, Krystin, one of the things I want to talk about is the year that's been 2018. You know, you've been quite busy this year. You know, a lot of great things that have been going on for you. I mean, what has the reflection for you been like, Krystin, or have you had the time to even reflect on the great things that's come your way this year?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. I mean, time-wise, I think time is tough. I'm sure you've heard this over and over again. There are no overnight routes to get to where you want to be. And, you know, it's a journey. I think sometimes the biggest steps don't feel like big wins for you. You know, it's as a storyteller, as a performer, it's the next step. What's next? I've always been a go-getter to a fault. I don't sit still, so I'm constantly thinking about how I can do better. I read about what's going on in the world and those around me who are, you know, have similar passions. I guess my point is I feel in this industry you have to have a passion and a drive for what you want to do because the business and, you know, especially, you know exactly what I'm talking about in this industry. It's nonstop. It's constantly changing. So I'm very thankful for the journey and very much looking forward to whatever comes next.
Yeah. You know, and I think I'm so glad you said that because I think a lot of times, Krystin, unfortunately, you know, or maybe fortunately, people see the finished product, right? And they're like, wow,
yeah.
You know, how fortunate is she, right, to do all these great things.
They see that social media post, yeah.
Right. But they don't always see the work. Have you always known, though, that you were willing to do the work for the finished product that you wanted?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, like I said, it feels. Sometimes I feel you push and you don't really see the outcome as being, like I said, that win. You know, because you're just so involved in the day-to-day grind. So absolutely, yeah. I think I've always known I wanted to do the best that I can, and you know, I think that's the biggest thing. That's the win. It's like how you get there. It's more. I know you've heard this over and over again. There are no overnight ways to get there. It's just, you know, putting one step forward and seeing where you end up. So absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And I think the other fun thing I noticed, Krystin, about you when I was prepping for this segment is that you've definitely been able to do a variety. You know, not all, you know, have been, you know, just drama work that you've been able to do. You've been able to do, you know, some work that's a little more lighthearted. Is that part of what keeps the business fun for you?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's been a wild ride. I never, my background is broadcast. Being a journalist never crossed my mind growing up. It wasn't until I was in college, a professor and a mentor really enjoyed my writing and kind of pushed me to audition for a mass media and broadcast department at the university that I was going to, and this led to my first on-air role as a one-man band TV reporter for a CBS station in Florida, not far from Mississippi, which I have to say I really love and miss the Spanish moss on the trees. It's so gorgeous down there. My career started in Tallahassee, Florida, so probably about 6 hours from where I believe you are. And to this day, I think that was probably one of the hardest positions that I've ever had. But I always thought I wanted to be a documentary filmmaker. As a kid, I grew up, doing musical theater and traveling a lot, dancing, singing. So I've always been involved in performing arts. But, I think I think you have to have a passion and just kind of bounce around to various different things to get a feel for exactly what you want to do. And I've definitely I've tried to do that over the years. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I've kind of bounced around from various different things. And it's good because you get a feel for what everybody else does, and I think that really builds, it gives you a foundation for your career as a whole.
Right. And Krystin, there's something else, too, I think that ties in well with that, and that is, of course, to have the courage to do it. And I think, and I'm sure you see this as well, whether you're talking about the work that you're able to do on camera as an actress or, of course, as I mentioned earlier, as a media personality, yourself, that people say, wow, I wish I could do that, even though they're not necessarily doing the work necessary, right, to do that. Where did the courage come from to go for it? Because I think in whatever you're doing, you're going to have to be able to step out. You have to make a step. How did you get the courage to make the step or to make the jump, maybe even in your case?
Oh, wow. I think, for me, it's surrounding myself with people that believe in you, just being around people that really want you to do well and that you can learn from. And I think that gives me courage. I think people pushing for you, and then also you seeing somebody else who has really accomplished a lot of what you may want to accomplish in life, and just surrounding yourself with those positive people with the positive energy, I think that really sets the stage for you to make that jump.
Yeah. And I think that is the big thing for sure. And I think, too, it allows other people to know what's possible for them. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. We're excited to welcome Krystin Goodwin to our program today. Krystin, someone who's been able to have success both as an actress and a TV show host herself. We've been talking with her not only about the journey to doing what she loves, but also the year that she's been able to have. Now, one of the projects, Krystin, you've been getting some buzz for, and definitely saw you even talking about it on social media, is the movie Bumblebee. I mean, when you kind of look at experiences like that, being a part of such a popular franchise as the Transformers franchise has been, I mean, was that one of those pinch me moments for you?
Oh yeah, it was. The whole experience has been so wonderful. Thank you. I'm very excited to be a part of this story. I'm very much a fan of the Transformers franchise. The film takes place in 1987, so a prequel spin-off to the films that we've seen over the last 15 years. During the 80s, which for me, I love the 80s. I have to say, I won't go into too much detail. I can't say too much, but
Sure.
I play a 1980s version of myself with bigger hair, much bigger hair. So that was a lot of fun. And, truth be told, I almost didn't make my audition with the film's director. So I'm very, very, very thankful I did. The whole experience has just been, it's incredible. I'm very grateful that I'm able to be involved, and I'm excited to see how it all turns out.
Yeah. Yeah. When I heard you just say that, Krystin, it makes me think about life in general, right? You do your part, but your part is just part of a bigger picture, and you just have to you wait and see how the whole thing, right, turns out. I think, and that goes for life for all of us. So, for yourself, when you're able to then have someone say, hey, I saw you in X, or, wow, I saw you doing this. How does it feel to know that your work is being recognized?
I think, I'm grateful. Every little step, and I think it just makes you, in general, regardless of what industry you're in, when somebody says, hey, good job, you're doing well after all the hard work, and it could be literally years you're pushing for something, and then you just get a little text or an email from friends or family saying, like, hey, that's great. I think it always feels wonderful to just know that those, again, around you are supporting you, and that what you're doing and the hard work, has paid off a little,
Right. And I think, again, that is one of the great things, too. And I love the fact, too, Krystin, the other thing that you're able to show is that it really is less about where you are, but more about who you are. I mean, I think, being able to be present in situations has definitely meant a lot. Again, going back to social media, you've given us the perfect mix, I think, of not only, of course, sharing what's happening in your life, but also what's happening in the world. Do you think that's also been one of the great things about having the platform that you have, that since you have eyes that are on you, to be able to direct them to areas that matter to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think social media plays it's such a powerful tool in every industry these days, and it feels like that's your go-to spot, where you can pretty much say what is important to you, and I think I try to do that as well. I could go on for for an hour about all that is important to me, but just bullet points here. Again, positive vibes. I think it's really important to support those around you who are doing similar things, and always just have kind words to say to them. And also, I'm a big animal lover, so I'm constantly posting photos of my dog or going hiking and that sort of thing. So, I think. Yeah, again, social media is such a powerful tool, and it's changing, and it's changed our industry a lot. So if I can, inspire someone to strive to get to the next level or whatever they're trying to achieve, I hope I can do that.
You're right. And I think, again, that is one of the great things about it. And I think recognizing that responsibility is a great part as well. One of the questions I've been thinking about a lot myself, Krystin, that I want to throw to you, not as one of these trick questions or anything, but it's something that, I think for all of us as we evolve, our ideas of what makes us happy definitely changes. What success looks like, I know for me, what success looks like is definitely changed. How has your idea of success changed on this journey for you?
I think success is measured by what you enjoy doing. I think you can constantly strive to achieve something, and then it'll be the next thing, like what's next. But you have to love what you do. You have to appreciate every moment, and I think that's when you know that you're doing well for yourself, is just being grateful in the moment, being grateful for everything you're allowed to do during, work hours and in your personal life. I think that says a lot. It's not so much, here's all my, social media posts of what I've accomplished. It's, am I enjoying what I'm doing? Am I happy in this moment? Am I happy surrounding myself with the people that, have inspired me to get to where I've been and where I hope to go? I think that's the most significant marker or factor that weighs into whether or not you are successful. I hope that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I wanted to ask you, though, as a follow-up for that, what do you think helps to keep you grounded?
I think family, definitely family and friends. I miss them dearly. My family is on the East Coast, so I live in Los Angeles now and have bounced around all over the place. But just reconnecting with family, constantly, just reach out to the people that you enjoy having conversations with, or being in their company if you can be in their company. I hop on FaceTime, whatever I can, to just stay in the moment, stay connected to loved ones all the time as much as you can.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. It's a great reminder for all of us. Now, the other thing that I've been wrestling with myself, Krystin, so I can personalize a lot of this, is the struggle, right, of trying to stay present, trying to stay in the moment, but, of course, thinking about the what's next. We kind of talked about that a little bit here. How do you find the balance? You've done so many great things we've talked about this year, but life is not over. So I know you're looking forward to what's to come. How do you balance the two?
It's a challenge in itself, balancing, and I think I agree with you. I think that we struggle pushing for the next thing and making sure that we're on our game 24/7, and it's important to just take a step back and, take into account what really matters. Our health definitely matters, our sanity, making sure that we're taking those R&R days just to kind of step back and regroup. And it's a process. There's no perfect answer. There's no perfect way to go about doing it. And I think that I'm still learning. There's definitely a learning curve in any sort of change in life. And I'm doing my best to juggle, personal and career, and I love what I do. So it's easier to go about each day doing what you love, but at the same time, right. I do have to check myself a lot and say, hey, let's delve back into this R&R day, or like take a moment to, again, reach out to loved ones or spend time with those that you don't get a chance to because you are so busy. I think it's very important.
Right, for sure. Well, congratulations to you, Krystin, on all the great things that have come your way and that will continue to come your way because of the work you're putting in. Again, everyone, Krystin Goodwin has been our guest. Krystin, let our audience know how they can stay connected with you, please.
Oh, yeah, please do. My Twitter handle is Krystin Goodwin, at Krystin Goodwin. It's Krystin with a Y, Krystin, and then Goodwin. And that's the same way you can reach me on Instagram as well. So thank you so much for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, the pleasure's definitely on mine, and looking forward to the what's next for 2019.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. If you all came in late, you missed part of the conversation with Krystin, don't worry. Thanks to our online friends, you all can catch the replay right after we go off the air. The link is already available through our social media sites. So head over to facebook.com/cyrus-webb or go to twitter.com/cyrus-webb. If you click on the link there, you can listen to the show completely for free and share with your friends from there too. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Make sure you take out time to enjoy some good music as well as a great book. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one.